What's up friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a new Android TV dongle from WE2USAT that falls within the special category of live TV and video on demand. This is the WE2USAT P6 Mini and it runs on Android 14 with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. So for those who are familiar with the special category models, you know the drill. In this video, we only focus on its hardware and firmware features. Any other information, you can contact me directly via email at tvboxtop@gmail.com. So don't go anywhere, my review is up next. And welcome back. So in the box you get the P6 Mini model. You get one Bluetooth voice remote, a 5V 2A DC power supply and a USB Type-C charging cable, and a user manual. For design, its body is made of plastic with a short male HDMI connector cable. At the top you have a power button. To the left side you have an Ethernet LAN port, which is great for a TV dongle. On the opposite side you have a USB 2.0 port. At the bottom edge you will find its USB Type-C charging port. And on the bottom side you have a power LED light. On first startup you have the WE2USAT animation, followed by a first startup wizard. Then you're taken to the launcher. So here we are at the launcher. It consists of a single vertical scrolling panel for all apps, and it comes with a date and time widget and a weather widget. This firmware runs on Android TV OS, so it does not feature a navigation bar or status bar. Here is its basic system information, and it shows that it's running on Android TV OS. Here is its current firmware build information, but unfortunately you do not have access to developer options. And now a look at its firmware features. You get up to 4K 2160p at 60Hz. You get HDR display with an adaptive HDR feature. You get auto frame rate switching, HDMI CEC options, and under formats it shows that it supports HDR10 and HLG. For surround sound audio formats, it supports both Dolby and DTS audio formats. And now for its system and hardware information. So the manufacturer of this dongle chipset is Amlogic, and it runs on 4GB of DDR3 RAM and 64GB of internal storage with Bluetooth 5.0. Its CPU is the Amlogic 905Y4, a quad-core Cortex A35 processor clocked at 2.0 GHz, configured in 32-bit mode. Its display is powered by the Mali G31 GPU with open GLES version 3.2 support. Its network adapter provides Wi-Fi 6 dual-band 2.4 plus 5 GHz. Its Android version is version 14 and the firmware is not rooted. Under devices, its GPU has Vulkan support API version 1.3. They disabled the temperature sensor. And under codecs, it supports 4K HDR video playback with HEVC, AV1 and VP9 decoding, and for surround audio, it supports Dolby Atmos EAC3 and the DTS HD. For DRM information, it shows that it has Google Widevine L1 with HDCP 2.3 protection. This means that you can play subscription movie streaming services in HD quality. However, it does not have an official Netflix ASN. And under the root checker app, it shows that the firmware is not rooted. For watching YouTube videos, it shows that it can play up to 2160p with HDR. However, it freezes at that resolution. It's best played at 1080p. For watching YouTube videos in 4K resolution, you would have to use the Smart YouTube TV version included in this bundle. I will now test for 4K video playback formats. So this is HDR10. This is the AV1 format. This is Dolby Vision that plays as HLG. This is Dolby Vision that plays as HDR10 Plus with Dolby Atmos. This is HDR10 Plus that plays as HDR10. And this is HLG. I will now test for surround sound audio formats. This is Dolby Atmos.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels.
This is Dolby Digital Plus.
Or captures the full extent.
Do you want to know my secret?
Of nature's fury.
You don't get a DTS HD Master Audio, instead you get DTS Virtual X. This is Dolby Surround. You don't get Dolby True HD.
This is the left channel.
And you don't get a DTS X, instead you get DTS Virtual X. For Android gaming, even though you are limited to the Android TV OS Play Store, its gaming performance is pretty good. You are, however, restricted to what games you can download and play. Now I turn to its benchmarks and where it ranks on my TV Box rankings chart. First, the results of its RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. It has a RAM copy speed of 4070 megabytes per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 116 megabytes per second and a write speed of 123 megabytes per second. Now the results of its Wi-Fi bands and its Ethernet LAN port. On its 5 GHz band, you have the maximum speed. Here, it's achieved the maximum speed of my network. Its 2.4 GHz band averaged around 73 megabits per second. And its LAN port is not a gigabit LAN port, so it only averaged around 94 Mbps. In benchmarking its CPU's single-core and multi-core performance, the Geekbench 5 CPU benchmark produced a score of 111 single-core and 375 multi-core. In benchmarking its GPU graphics rendering performance, the 3DMark Wildlife test produced a score of 196 with an average FPS of 1.20. And in the Antutu benchmark, it received a score of 120,195. So those are the benchmarks. Let's now see where it ranks on my chart. So at the time of recording this video, the WE2USAT P6 Mini ranks at position 36 based on its Antutu benchmark score. I gave it a 3 out of 5-star rating, and to view this chart to compare it to other boxes in this list, use the link provided in the description below this video. In summary, the P6 Mini, in my opinion, is a pretty decent high-performance dongle, and its performance was more than I expected. A matter of fact, it has better performance than a lot of Android boxes. As mentioned, it does fall within that special category I always talk about, and the good thing is, they did not make it with crappy cheap hardware like we have seen in similar models that fall within that same special category. And there you have it. That brings to an end my review of the WE2USAT P6 Mini. If you are interested in this dongle, I placed a link in the description below this video. Also, for more information about that special category, contact me directly via email at tvboxtop@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to check out some of the products I have on sale at second-hand prices on my online store, use the link provided in the description. If you are new to my channel, I urge you to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and ring the notifications bell. This way, you will know exactly when I release new videos, offer second-hand prices, or decide to do a giveaway. So stay connected and see you in the next one.